Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Deb. I'm so glad to have you. This is Deb's Corner. So this channel is all about advice, lifestyle. It's all about sometimes financial advice, sometimes my quirky nature, but it's all about me just sharing myself. So welcome. So I see I have some new subscribers, so just welcome guys. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it as always. But thank you for subscribing. Like I always say in all my videos, right? I look at my subscriber count and I imagine myself on stage talking to that same amount of people in the audience, right? So if I have 2,000 or 1,000 subscribers and I'm on stage talking to 1,000 people, that's a lot. And I'm a shy person, so that's a lot. So thank you guys for watching. I know your eyes are staring. So thank you for watching. Thank you for always returning. To my returning subscribers, thank you for always returning and watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And if you're just browsing, you come across this video and you like what you see, please like, please subscribe for more content like this. This is a positive space. This is a safe space where you can just come and just dump your worries and just dump your cares and just relax for a couple of minutes, right? So welcome. Today started out sunny and it's now gloomy, whatever. Welcome to winter. But yeah, I thought I was going to be filming with the sun out, but it's all good. You know, you make the best with whatever you have, whatever situation you find yourself in. So that's what I'm doing now. So if you haven't guessed, this is going to be a sit down video. I have these every now and then, but I mostly want to focus on lifestyle vlogs. But for now, every now and then I will throw in some sit down videos because I feel like I have a lot to share, and YouTube has also taught me a lot, so I want to give back in that way. So I'm wearing the necklace my daughter got me. It says mom. I don't know if you can see it says mom, and I'm like, oh, it's so cute. You have kids and you're like, you know, when they were younger, you're doing everything to just make sure they're, you know, they're taken care of and blah, blah, blah. You forget yourself sometimes. And when they get a little older and they start to feel empathetic and they start to feel for you and they start to I'm tongue-tied. And they start to do things for you, you're like, oh my gosh, so this is what my mom felt when I, you know, told her I love her or gave her this. This is how she felt. It really means a lot. So I received this gift and I'm so happy. It's the thought that went behind the gift, and I'm so happy she used her money that she saved up to buy this for me, and that means a lot. So hopefully I'm doing a good thing, you know, like where you're like thinking outside of yourself. So kudos to my kids. In this video, I want you to talk about what makes you come alive in this video. I have a notepad where I write down ideas. Ideas come to me throughout the day, and sometimes I always forget to jot it down, but most of the times I do remember, and I jot it down on my phone and then transcribe it to a notepad, whatever. But today I wanted to talk about what makes you come alive. What makes you come alive? I'm happy. Oh yeah, my hair, I finally got my hair to manageable like style, because it was too puffy, right? And so it's getting on my nerves. You thank God for a full head of hair, but then you're like, ugh, I can't really do much with it. So I kind of tamed it down a bit. So I'm kind of happy that I finally tamed my hair down. So for me, right? And what I've noticed from just living on this earth for this long, maybe not this long, I'm still young, but just noticed from living on earth, right? Just living life, right? What I've noticed is that in your younger years, you're still like, and when I say younger, like in your teenage 20s, right? You're still trying to figure out who you are as a person. You're still trying to come into yourself. You're still trying to, for some, because for me at least, I was a very skinny child, like sticks and bones. I was very skinny. So for me, growing up, being skinny and trying to just get used to being skinny and not having shape or not having, and this went on till about, I would say, my mid-20s, just trying to adjust to my skinniness. Like, I was so skinny. And it wasn't because I was like, something was wrong. Well, people who are skinny, nothing's wrong with it. It wasn't because of not eating, because I thought I was eating enough, right? It's not because I'm not eating, it's just my nature. I was just small framed. It's only when I started having kids that I just got a little shape. I'm not skinny anymore, but I'm not also big. So I don't know, I'm in that in-between phase, all right? So I loved that I gained weight once I got pregnant. And I saw my hips forming. I was like, whoa, look, this is how it feels like to have hips. So I was coming into myself, right? By the way, I married young. I had kids young. Not too young, but young. All in my 20s, right? So it's still young. That's the period where you're figuring out who you are as a person, right? So I was trying to come into myself. So for someone like me, like I was saying, someone like me, when you're in your teenage years, your 20s, you're trying to come into yourself, and you might like certain things. You might see that you're attracted to certain things. You might see that you're good in certain areas, and you have skills that will propel you into this such career and all that stuff. You might notice that when you're like that teenage slash, 20s slash trying to figure out yourself years, you're trying to figure out what it is that makes you come alive, what it is that makes you just feel happy, passionate, all that stuff. You're trying to figure out, and you do know it sometimes, but then society says, hey, that in this area where you find joy, where you find happiness, where you excel as a person, as an individual in society, it's not really great according to society's standards. It's okay, but it's not great. Why not pursue something that's greater? So we go into this, I guess, young, during your formative years, go through this in elementary school, you go through this in middle school, high school, and sometimes college too, because you're still trying to figure out what you want to do in life, right? You go through this period where, like, kind of what makes you come alive, but you're denying it because society says that, it isn't really that, it really isn't that great. So let's focus on something that's great. So you tend to kind of change your path. You tend to kind of like let go of things that once made you come alive. So for me, writing was that thing that made me come alive. For me, it was being creative, like working with my hands. It was with me solving problems, thinking of solutions to problems. That's what makes me come alive, right? But for some reason, when I was younger, I felt like, coming from a Nigerian household, I felt like I had to become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. We know this. You know where I'm going with this. You had to become all those things to be really great. And so if you had any interest outside of that, you were really not, what are you doing? Are you really accomplishing things in life? And so growing up, I had cousins, I had family, friends, I had people who were literally like studying bio, doing pre-law, doing like a whole bunch of things that fell into that basket of what our Nigerian parents wanted us to do. Luckily, my mom and dad weren't that way, but there was pressure around the community, obviously, right? Oh, so what's your child doing? My daughter has just, she has just done a bio degree. She will go into she's doing pre-med. And it was just kind of like a bragging, like, okay, well, my son is doing this, what is yours doing? And so you felt that added pressure to let go of the things that made you come alive and focus on the things that will put prestige on your family. Now, I'm the kind of person that I often deem myself as a black sheep. I deem myself as a black sheep because I don't quite fit in. I'm like that anomaly that just is there, but I don't quite fit in. So I realized that at a young age. I'm just different. Not different in a bad way. I'm just different. I will give you an example. Different in the mindset of, okay, so you're telling me that no matter what, if you're not good in sciences, you're not good in math, you're not good in any of those things, that no matter what, I should keep trying until I pass it, to then go into a field, medicine, engineering. No, I like engineering, but let's not. This is how I was thinking back then. Engineering, law, because my family said, or my family dynamic or the culture said that these are the careers that are acceptable in our eyes, right? So I found that hard to like hold on to. I was like, okay, no, I know I'm good in that area. Why would I then? So I kind of rebelled. I just did my own thing. And so I often felt like the black sheep because I followed a path that wasn't according to the standards of our Nigerian aunties and uncles. And I followed a path that was less prestigious, right? I guess that's the word, right? And less prestigious than my aunts and aunties and uncles, Nigerian aunties and uncles will love. And when I'm saying Nigerian aunties and uncles, I'm not just talking about the ones that are blood related. I'm just talking about the community itself. And so that was then. I don't know, things may have changed now, but that was then. So I rebelled in a way, did my own thing. In the way that I reasoned, the way I question things, I question like things. And that we often forget what makes us come alive, right? It's later on in our adulthood. Some people find out earlier, but most people find out later on what makes them come alive. And they have two choices. They either accept it, right? Okay, this is who I am. This is what makes me happy. This is where I derive joy in, and I'm going to pursue that. Or some people go, well, I'm too late in life. I've done this, I've done that. I don't want to go back, so I'm just going to stick with this. And then there's a third group of people who go, okay, well, I've done so much in life to get to a position I am in, even though I'm not really 100% happy in it, but I can still do what I'm passionate about on the side. So we have three individuals. So what makes you come alive? It's a question that I think every human being should ask themselves and should actually indulge themselves in, because this life, I know we hear this cliche all the time, but this life is really short. You only get one life to live. And if something makes you come alive, as if it's something that you've been putting away, right? What are you putting away for? Are you putting away for later on where you're less busier? But tomorrow's not guaranteed. Are you saying, oh, I don't have resources? Then that's a legit concern. So you should go find ways to get resources, right? So I'm just saying, whatever it is that makes you come alive. For me, I love doing videos. I love sharing what I've learned. This video is not just to preach, okay, no, it's really to have you just sit down and just really think, okay, what is it that makes me come alive? This life is not guaranteed. This life is short. That in between space counts a lot. And so you just want to fill that in between space with things that are actually deriving joy in your life. Not to say that you don't have like areas where, like, if you have a family, you have to make money for your family, but what makes you come alive could be a side hustle, right? So it could be things that just derive joy for you. Yes, you have to meet your responsibility to the household by working a job that you don't really like, but I'm still not going to leave the things that make me come alive aside just to do that job. I can do them hand in hand. I can do, while doing that job that is going to provide for my family, I can also do something else that brings me joy. So this is just to have you think about that. This life, I've learned as I'm in it, and as I'm getting older, I've learned that you don't make excuses for who you are. You just accept yourself. I think when you're a little younger, you tend to make excuses. Why am I like this? Why don't I do it? And you tend to beat yourself more. But the time where it finally clicks, where you're finally like, okay, this is who I am. I'm just talking about the good, because the bad you can always change or kind of alter the bad characteristics of yourself if you actively work on it. So I'm not talking about the bad, I'm talking about the good. But the good, you're like, okay, this is actually who I am, right? And I'm just gonna soak it up. I'm not gonna make excuses for it. I'm not gonna like dim my light because I'm trying to make somebody else feel good. You're just going to walk in who you are because you've accepted yourself. And when you accept yourself, there's a confidence that comes with that. When you accept yourself for how you look, when you accept your nose for being a certain shape, when you accept your lips for being a certain shape, there's a confidence that comes with that. And people around you will immediately notice that. But it's only when you allow yourself to open up like a flower, come alive, is when that confidence will then come in. So hopefully this wasn't a rambling video, but I was sitting down thinking about this and how content I am with myself, how some things that I like, some boundaries that I set, some ways that I've spoke up for myself, some ways, some choices that I made that was not really meshing well with people, especially in the Nigerian community, how that actually helped me to be a really happy, joyful person. I'm not saying giddy every day, but like overall, I'm just content with who I am as an individual. So that took work, and that took acceptance, that took me just coming alive. And when I say coming alive, it means just accepting all the things that bring me happiness. That is it. Yeah, so that's this video. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. I hope you got something out of this. But yeah, until the next video, I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.